Okay, welcome to ecs36b. I'm the instructor. My name is Felix Wu. Just to let you know, all my lecture and office hour, as well as whatever discussion session may be leading by your TA, those will be recorded, so you will be able to read the content as well, including today, of course. All right, so I will just want to start, before I go over the syllabus, I want to go over overall what we try to do in this course. Okay, of course, this is a required course, very important for you to, on the path, to get a credential as an undergraduate degree in computer science. But also I want to remind you there is a purpose that why this course is here. If you look at the picture, this picture contains a lot of information. I mean, by the way, what do you see from this picture I just showed here? Anyone? Yes, please.
Some people just doing like normal everyday stuff.
Okay, good. People and the normal everyday stuff. What other stuff? Yeah. A fridge. Okay. I hear something here. Yeah, please. Okay, integration of technology. Wow, I have to tune in a few things, right? To see something. You're right. There's a lot of technology. For example, this one is actually not just a fridge, but it's a smart fridge. It actually has a lot of sensor that's contained a lot of stuff. So, but I like I think it's your answer. You say it's a people and essentially their life, right? About how they interact. So this is our life as well. So we're basically trying to live a life looks like this with people and with things. There's a lot of things. There's a relationship. There's people there. But why does that has to do with ecs36b? The title of ecs36b is something like object-oriented programming. I don't want to remember exactly the title and teach the course for so many times. I don't want to remember that. Okay, so I don't want to. Okay, so it's object-oriented programming. So there is a concept of object. So essentially what you see is a picture, but this picture contains a lot of objects. And this object, they're interacting with each other. And the thing is that, by the way, I should be honest saying that whether it's a good or it's a bad idea, and try to make a programming concept and make the object in not just this picture, but in the life we share together. Whether it's a good idea to do programming, meaning that you got control by Facebook because the content you're seeing is defined as an object. Whether that's a good idea is an ethics issue. Okay, that is a even deeper course you should actually take after this one. But in this course, we actually try to understand the methodology and the tool that you will be able to do a large-scale programming to either represent or solve a real-world problem that's actually in this scale. Okay, so just let you know, just go over this a little bit. That, by the way, this was a Facebook website for one of the programming courses I taught a long time ago. And by the way, I forgot, it's probably around at least 12 years ago. And the thing is that then when the student and we actually communicate with pretty much everything. And what we also realize is that there is object-oriented representation behind this information that's actually being captured, being used as part of the service by Facebook. At that time it was Facebook. And the thing is that what you will actually see is that in not just in the ancient world, but in today's modern world, that typically there are some kind of front end represent how objects, by the way, over here, you can think about a person is an object. And then how they interact, how do they interact? And how does that information be represented internally looks like this. By the way, you will learn this representation very well, very deep. And then because you can actually represent this internally, that you can actually write a program, a C++ program, for example, to actually be able to do all sorts of things, whether it's good or bad. From an ethic perspective, that is not a subject I'm talking about right now, but the capability, very powerful, sometimes a little bit evil, and you can actually manage this information on a large scale. Okay, so that's kind of the tool I want you to. So this is a big transition from ecs36a over here. 36a really is a first programming class that try to help you to focus on the syntax and help you to understand how to write like a sequential program, but not focus so much on the data side, but mostly focus on the logical sequence side over there. Okay, of course, 36a has a lot of other instructional purpose, for example, such as you have to learn Unix, you have to learn memory. For example, you have to learn dynamic memory allocation, pointer concept like pointer. I just want to ask you, maybe I should have asked you to raise your hand. So I'll just ask this general way. So when you learn the previous subject, at the end of 36a, you should start to seeing the concept like a dynamic memory allocation, pointer and addresses, those kind of concepts. And that is a concept that's make a difference between what I call a higher level programmer, mostly focused on application, and go down to what we call the system programmer, which is you go one level down to understand how the system is working. So some of those concepts, by the way, we will be redeveloped into the object-oriented programming system as well. Just like you know, that is that you will see the syllabus. So maybe at this time I will start to talk about what is the syllabus. So in this course, I really should focus on these two things. One is object-oriented programming, and just focus on what is the syntax and correctness of a program. That's number one. But the second thing is start to look at that picture and try to figure out how do I actually represent those objects in those pictures in a programmable way. And that's actually start to look at object-oriented thinking. To think about, oh, how do I actually bridge the gap between the physical or this day where the hottest topic today is called generative AI, and which is the generated fake world, and how do I actually represent how those objects are interacting? For example, that's the two subjects I would like to go over. Okay, so now I'm going to go over the syllabus, which I share maybe, I don't know when, probably 30 minutes ago, over Canvas. But let me just pull it out. Let me make it a little bit bigger. Okay, I'm going to go over this. That's probably my number one objective for today. Okay, so number one prerequisite prerequisite. The most important thing is I assume you already taken the previous course, ecs36b. If you don't have it, or you actually have a equivalent, but you're not sure, please discuss with me. I already go over a little bit about my instructional goal. Please read it. Waitlist situation. I don't know the waitlist situation. Look at the size of the room. It looks like this year it should be okay. Okay, the content. The content, as I mentioned, the instructor will record all the lecture on my YouTube channel. And so I will typically post it a few hours after the lecture to my YouTube channel, so you can actually take a look at that. And I said we have a 2-track. One is object programming. The other one is more related to the operating system. Okay, and obviously all the office hour and discussion will be around the content or the homework. Okay, so I do want to say that this course, programming is very important. But this quarter, I decided to do something different about programming, which I will talk about that when we go down to the grading policy. Then you will see what's going on there. Okay, I don't have any textbook. I only have a reference book, which is posted here. This reference book is free for UC Davis student. I didn't want to have a mandated textbook. To be honest, I couldn't find any really good one. I mean, I'm not saying that the textbook are bad. It's just the topic they cover does not really exactly cover the text, the subject that I would like to cover. So that's why I'm actually using a bunch of online material, and mostly I'm going to put it under the GitHub, so you will be able to see that. Okay. Okay, so here is a course requirement. So let me actually go over about the course requirement. So you will have a programming assignment, but the programming assignment counts as 0% about your grade. You'll have a homework assignment, but it's 0%. Okay, I will explain to you why. And then I don't take this quarter, unlike the previous quarter, I decide not to take participation credit. I trust you guys. Whenever you need to come here, you will come here. Whatever you need to handle some other stuff, that you will do that as well. I let you to have the freedom and to make the right decision about how you want to spend your time in the course of ecs36b. And there is no final exam. That leads everything into the midterm exam, 100%. So we will have a 5 midterm exam in class. So because I kind of split the material into 5, so each of the midterm is not going to be big. It's going to cover the material we cover. That's actually right before, between this midterm and next midterm. And I will drop the lowest score about that 5. Okay, so totally is 100%. Of course, for then each of this is 25% effectively. Okay, and the date of the midterm has been listed there as well. Okay, so go check your, yes, please. It should be all Friday. Let me check. So meaning that, thank you. Did I look at the wrong calendar? Thank you very much. Yeah, it should be October 6th. Thank you. Yeah. Okay, what's your name? Bullen. Okay, so Bullen, you will come here for dinner on Friday. The rest of you come here on Saturday. Okay. But he's only one. Detect that, right? Okay. Thank you. I appreciate it. I was just kidding. Okay. So so this is the 5. So let me actually tell you that why I actually assign 0% a homework assignment. Because my midterm, you will not do well based on my experience unless you really do the homework assignment yourself. Okay, let me just show you. I included the document, some sample exam. So this is sample exam. For example, the first homework assignment, the first question, that's actually, as you show here, related to homework 1. And you can see that I basically just give you a bunch of code. This is actually derived from the first programming assignment. And then basically I said, well, within this line of code, and you have to answer some question. And by the way, the sample exam, I provide the answer. Okay, for example, this is a question, this is the answer, and things like that. Okay, so you can get an idea, but the big picture is that programming is something for you to learn. And the thing is that I'm not going to test you whether you understand the subject when you turn in the program by whatever way. But I'm actually going to ask you during the course, during the midterm exam, about those questions related to your programming. So if you have done the programming, usually you will do really well on the exam. So just to let you know, that's the rationale behind it. And of course, I forgot where I put it. I should have put it somewhere. For each of the programming assignment I gave it to you, I will provide you the solution and key at the same time. So you basically have a question, you know what you're supposed to do, and you know what's the end result. And therefore, myself and the TA will still help you when you try to solve that problem. You realize you cannot bridge the gap from any way. And then that's when you actually going to raise your hand, ask question either in the lecture, office hour, or discussion hour, anywhere. And then you can actually, we can help you to get learned. And the other thing which I will also be doing this quarter is that for each of the lecture, I'm actually going to have what I call a recording of questions. So all the questions you ask, we will be recording, share with everybody. And also, by the way, the midterm exam, the question will be from those questions as well. Okay, so for example, I'm already prepared here to for you to start seeing here. For example, the first question I already asked for you is that, well, I want to figure out or guess what this program is doing. It's a very high level question. We will see today. I don't know how much I can get through. From that question, that will lead to a sequence of questions for you to actually understand how to write a program or how the other person write this program this way. Okay, and remember, question answering the program like this is important. It's recorded. I hope you will share this as well. This file is recorded. I will post it within each of the lecture, and I will provide answer, of course, for that. Okay, so I do want to say, so this is basically a high-level idea, okay? Homework important doesn't count as a percentage because we will leave it to the exam. And then just to let you know that this is a new thing. We got the faculty computer science department or whatever, the computer science undergraduate committee has actually decided that we should follow this particular guidelines. I wanted to let you know that this is actually, again, well, I shouldn't say again, it's different from I used to do handling any of my course. And I just got a lot of advice from the department about what we should be doing, how do we grade, and the policy is here. Let me just read it to you once, okay? The CSUGA hearing recommends that effective immediately instructor endeavor
to follow this guideline when assigning course grades. Lower division courses, which is ecs36b, A should have a mean grade of approximately 2.7 or B minus. B, mean grades will not fall outside a range of 2.3 to 3.0, C plus 2B. And C, the median grade should be a B or a B minus. Okay, so just to let you know, this is the official guideline that provided by the, I think CSUGA stands for Computer Science Undergraduate Affairs, okay, Committee, all right? All right, so just to let you know, that's the requirement in the grading part. Right, any question? Okay. Okay, this is the topic I'm going to cover. And okay, now here is what I said. So for each of the lecture and assignment, I will provide a set of question and answer. So some of the questions will be provided by myself because based on my experience, I know the student might encounter this set of questions, but more importantly, I hope you will provide the question. Whenever you provide the question, I will record it and I will provide whatever answer which I think is the most accurate. Okay, the first question typically I will. Okay, this is real. Is that sometimes the first version of the question I actually use ChatGPT to generate. Okay, you want to? Let me actually show you what I did. What's my first question? By the way, I didn't use ChatGPT. I used something called Llama. Have you heard about Llama? Okay, yeah, good. Some of you know about that. So I use, okay, let me actually say this one. I'm actually using Llama running on this small computer. It works really well. And of course, you know that how inaccurate sometimes this kind of large language model can actually really misleading. Okay, so it's running. It should be coming up very soon. Now the answer looks very garbage. Okay. No, I don't want you to do this. Take a look at this. Let me show you what I did earlier before I come to this class. So I did a lot of questions about ecs36b. Let me actually make it a little bit bigger so you can see it. I'm still editing all the answer. So the first question I asked, what is the basic syntax in defining a C++ class? Okay, and I will share this with you. Okay, after I verify all the content, they're actually correct. So they actually give a reasonable answer to that. And then I asked a question, what is the identifier of C++? And then I asked the question, wait a minute. Yeah, you can see that there was a lot of questions I asked, but I want to find a question which is, for example, I asked, what is a virtual function in C++? Very important topic. What's the performance? For example, this question, why is the performance of mmap in C++ much faster than Python? Okay, so now this is a question I'd like to answer because, by the way, this question, the answer is more or less correct from the Llama. What I want to tell you this question is that many ecs36b students will ask this question or have asked this question, why do we need to learn C++? Why can't we just learn Python?
if you go out to work in the industry, I can tell you that 90, I shouldn't say 90, whatever percent, it's probably 70, at least 70%. The new type of technology job in the data analytics, in AI machine learning, or in some of the robotics and this or mobile app development, they're either using Python or something more advanced. But mostly, if you know Python, you survive really well in industry as a programmer. Okay, then why do we bother to learn C++? Okay, sorry, I'm not trying to put you guys on the spot. Okay, this will not affect your grades. You see that. Why do you think you need to learn C++? Besides the computer science department put a gun on your neck saying that you have to take it. Yes, in the back.
Wait, are you asking for an answer or?
Answer or whatever comment. Okay. Any other answer? I might agree with you somewhat. Okay. Yes.
Historical.
Yeah. Okay, it's efficient. That is actually the reason I asked, what is the performance in math? It's about how long, you know how much? Yeah.
I don't know how much I had this question. We're probably maybe it's probably like more than 100%.
It depends. Depending on what you're doing. In the small scale program, it's probably 3 to 5 times. For the large scale program, when the program gets really big, it's about 25 times at least. Yeah. Yeah, somewhere along the line. Yeah. Right. Right. So I do want to give Python some credit. Python does try to optimize things, even this interpretation, but they actually have some optimization. They try to make it squeeze as small as possible. Sometimes they use native code to do the most commonly executed command. And I believe performance will be. But to be honest with you, even me as an instructor, I sometimes have some doubt about whether we should learn C++ at the lower level, lower division. This is something, to be honest with you, I've been teaching this course for a long time. I actually see that how this course is actually being placed in a lower division, looking at the whole curriculum. But on the other hand, I want you to actually think about this question. You can tell your instructor, why do I need to learn this? Why should I learn something else? I want you to feel absolutely academically free to challenge a question like that. Okay. Yeah, you have a comment?
Yeah. After I've done a little bit of Python, a little bit of C++, and I feel like in Python it's very abstract, right? And it's actually, to me, it's a little bit confusing because you kind of just have to trust. There's a lot of black box that you just use, but you don't know what is actually happening. Like when you import a package in Python, what in the world is that doing? I have no idea. And I feel like in C++, you're kind of forced to learn how a lot of things work, and then it just makes everything make more sense later.
Okay. So I agree with you. That is important. By the way, I also agree with several other comments. For example, C++ really gives you more, I would say, foundation to understand more into the hardware. Yeah. Back to that, I think Python is great about learning because it just not computer development quickly. But C++ is very for academic purposes if you really want to know what the program does and how to do something. Okay, that's a good point. Thank you. Yeah, I agree with you that when if I choose to develop a program,
I usually, my first choice, to be honest with you, is a Python. It's way faster. They, especially when they deal with specific domain, there's so much library, it's so easy. Just, if you want to code a deep neural network, Python is probably 4 lines of code. You can actually get a really powerful neural network to work. But with C++, you have to worry about a lot of stuff and avoid make any this kind of mistakes, such as memory. However, I would say for both C++ and the Python, as the current status of our technology, we always have to trust the code, even C++. I mean, eventually you have to trust the operating system. I mean, how do you know the operating system doesn't contain a vulnerability that people is going to make a mistake and nobody have discovered yet? And Python, I mean, to be honest with you, a lot of time, because I use Conda. So in Python, from time to time, I have to go to the Conda library directory to look at the source code, to look at exactly what this particular module was implemented. So as programmer, I would say the first stage, you want to use whatever, get the result fast, as soon as possible, which in that case, usually is a Python. But when you actually get to a certain point, the process becomes mature, then you need to either go deep into Python to actually see the underlying code, which is actually also Python most of the case, or you convert everything to C++, and then see if you can redevelop the concept you're familiar with into some language that gives you the performance, that's actually happened to me a few times between the development. Okay. All right, that's good. I just want to trigger you some of the question. Now I can go back to my curriculum. Okay, so this is my office hour. So we have 2 TA. Hello is one of the, can you help me to pronounce your own name and introduce yourself?
I'm Paula. I'm a PhD student of computer science.
Okay, so we have the other TA, Sorin, who will be here on Friday. I will ask our TA to announce your office hour, and we will actually coordinate with the discussion session as well. So I just want to announce for the curriculum, for the course schedule, we have 3 discussion sessions. Based on my experience, I feel that it's actually very not efficient if we ask the TA to lead 3 different discussion sessions, which is the same content. So I will have the TA to lead only one of the discussion session, which is present some kind of systematic way about what's the material related to the assignment and related to the lecture. And then he or she will record it, and then so you can actually, everybody else can access. And then, so we will have more time to do office hour, which be able to help you to actually handle your individual question. So right now, I just tentatively listed those 2 are the office hour, Tuesday, Friday, from 1:30 to 2:30. That's my office hour. And I actually list a few things which, yes, please. Okay, the office hour. I'm old. I believe it's 2357. So let me just tell you that what I have. This is my real office. And that real office can only have about 3 people in the room. So I typically use the other room, which is my lab. And this room can, usually you can have about 20, 30 students there, no problem. Okay, so that's why I would like to use the bigger room, all right? Okay, so I'm going to ask you to do this. This is the important thing I want you to do for the first 2 weeks. And also I will ask the TA to help you to go over those issues in the first 2 weeks. It's basically setting up a programming environment so you can bring your computer with a environment, you can just download the GitHub code and you can do everything right there when you're in this room. Okay, it's very important. I don't want you to just listen to me passively. But I want you to, whenever I say something, you actually start to do some modification, you start to compile your program and see if you got what you learned, what you're supposed to learn, okay? So those are the important things. I'm not going to go over there. Yes, okay, so I finally go through very quickly about the curriculum. All right, so for every courses, every lecture, I will give you one or more folder for you to actually follow, and those folder are the focus of my lecture. So the first, I already shared the folder. I call the C++01 person and the thing. So everything has been coded over here. All right, so you haven't learned anything about C++. What is a C++? Some of you never heard about the concept after the programming was the class. So in this lecture, I'm actually going to teach you how to write the simplest form of a class and how to use that, how to instantiate them into object. Okay, so the first code, I want you to actually take a look. I have only about 8 minutes. So I'm going to start from this program. Well, this is a bit small, so I'm going to use my own terminal, my favorite. Okay, so this is, make it bigger, sorry. Okay, this is a program for assuming you know about the ecs36b, you're probably familiar with this part of the syntax. Over here, from here to here, you probably understand syntactically what it's doing. This is what we call the main program, okay? So now I want you to actually just quick take a look at this part of code. Okay, that's not too bad. I make this a little bit bigger. Okay, I want you to actually take a look. This probably 20 lines of code over here. I just put it here. Can you see it on the back? Okay, good. If you cannot see it, let me know. So just, I know you know nothing about C++. Some of you probably forgot about C. No problem. I want you to take a look at the code. Maybe just look at the code like it is in English. Tell me what you think this piece of code is doing. Yes, wow, you read faster than me. Okay. You should be really smart. Okay, go ahead. No, I'm just kidding.
No, I'm sorry. I mean, I just looked at the first amount of code as exceeds and then declaring different things.
I'm declaring different things. Okay. Let me actually write down the answer. You see that? The first question, I will need to figure out the program. So declaring things, right? Is that the right word to say it? Declaring things. What do you mean by thing? Hold on. Here is the code. What kind of things I'm declaring?
You're declaring.
You go ahead, go ahead.
You're declaring float, some float values. I'm not sure what those float values mean exactly, because I have to look at what's happening with this specific class. But, to me, basically, you're declaring some floats.
Okay, good. All right, we're making progress. And this is let's just took this 4 lines, this 3 lines we're talking about. Okay. Hold on 1 second. In the back. In the back, yeah. Right. That's good. That's good. What's your name? Viraj. Yeah. Okay. Viraj actually provides. Yes, please.
Declaring blocks of classes and we can depending on what you want to create. For example, GPS and GPS is
The location. Okay, good. So you guys are doing great. Okay, I know some of you probably didn't see what those few gentlemen have seen it. Don't worry. Okay, this is some of us are more experienced, and don't worry about that. You will learn. Okay, your purpose in this class is to learn gradually the capability, be able to see a program or see a program written by language you are not familiar with. And like that's a capability you will learn in this class. Okay, so just don't worry about that if you cannot get it. But let's try to parse this a little bit. So as we say that the first one is in C++ is either called a data type or is called a class. By the way, over here we actually already have a few class, even though I haven't told you what class is and how to actually define a class. But that's okay. Programming, high level, we try to read it as English and try to guess. By the way, I do want to say that guessing is very important in programming. And don't be afraid to guess. Why? If I guess, if I take a United Airlines airplane, and I want to guess whether the airplane is going to be mechanical error, that's a very dangerous guess, right? Nobody wants to guess that. You have to guarantee. But programming, guess is okay. Because programming, before I actually put my program on that airplane, is in my lab. I can always guess, but I will modify my program to verify my guess is correct or not. Okay, so that is why I want you to start to guess about what the program is doing. So let me go over the first 3 lines and then want to show you the first class you ever have. So the class name is called GPSDD. And I have variable name. So you can think about, you see that here is integer argc. What's int? Int is the data type, is an integer. And what's argc? Argc is a variable, it's an identifier. So the same thing, I actually have GPSDD as the type. It's a GPS location representation, object-oriented representation. And the identifier, the variable is called GPS home Woodland or GPS TLC UC Davis. Similarly, there's a class called person and the variable name is called Felix. Okay, so that's basically, I define a class called GPSDD, I define a class called person, and this is the way how I use it. So think about this. When I show you the picture earlier, I show you a bunch of people are interacting with each other. Guess what they're doing? They're basically just create a bunch of person objects, create a bunch of GPS objects, and create a bunch of things for Swedish Nibble. And that's essentially what's object-oriented programming. You convert a picture into something which is programmed. Before I let you go, let me just show you what the picture looks like. I will go to gps.h, which is the class. Now you can see your class. The first time, this is your class. I use the keyword class, and the class name is called GPSDD, and a bunch of stuff inside, which we will continue on Friday. Okay,